Nope. Hold.
So I'm going to tell a little story here. This is the point that it's either 3, maybe 4 years ago that Wyatt and I were coming up in the late afternoon. This is just above Eagle Cliff and Eagle Cliff store, and we were going up. We've got trail cameras way the heck up there, and we come around the corner into this valley here, and he starts acting up. He wants to go down. He's whining, and he's come over here. I got Sean and Apollo with me today, and Apollo is all over the place.
He's busy.
I know.
He's busy.
So anyway, he keeps whining and wanting to go back to the truck, like he's afraid of something, and I couldn't figure it out. So right in this area, I walked back with him because he was on a long lead, even longer than Calamity is today, 2 or 3 times, and I walk him up here and he start whining again. And he didn't really want to look over in this area. He did, and then he'd go down and he'd look out, and I was thinking maybe he hears a dog down in the campgrounds or something like that, but he was worried, which is very different. And so finally I get behind him and I'm pushing him up, and in this exact spot, these fir trees were much smaller, and these trees were not blocking the view up there. But a third of the way down, right in the middle of that green, I'm standing here like this with Wyatt, trying to get him going, and I look up, and right there is the Bigfoot, is the Sasquatch, and it is standing. You can see the buckbrush. It looks like salal, the green up there. His knees are over the buckbrush, and the buckbrush at that time of year, it was either March or April, I could look it up, was about 3 feet tall, and it was standing here like this. I could see it crystal clear. And I was like, oh my God, I knew immediately what it was. And I didn't have any dread or anything like that. You hear stories about that. I was like, oh my God. And what surprised me was its shape. I figured when I finally saw one, it was gonna look like one of these giant gorilla barrel-chested things. And this wasn't all. This was a giant orangutan, jet black, and I mean jet black. Its arms were out. I could see the definition in its body, and then its head, there's like no neck. Its head had a raccoon type gray or whitish stripe across its eyes. I don't know whether that was skin or whether that was fur or not, and it was just doing this. And so the first thing I did was, oh my God, I got to get a picture of this. And I'm holding Wyatt on his lead, and so this same pack, I pull this thing out and I put it in picture mode, unlock it, put it in picture mode. And then I'm like, oh no, I got to get a video. I change it over to video, and I reach in here for this exact same pair of compact binoculars, and I start doing this, trying the vignetting thing on it. And I can see it, I'm looking right at it, and I'm trying to do the vignetting. And unlike what Calamity's being good right now, Wyatt kept pulling me. He's going, whoa, 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 and pulling me down. And so I got it. And it was probably 30 seconds of doing that. And he kept whining and pulling. And finally, I decided I cannot do it. I took just a second. I dropped the lead, stepped on it, looked up, and it disappeared. It like evaporated in that split second. And so all I could think of was that thing at the speed of light dropped into the bushes. So Wyatt and I walked up and down here for a half hour on this road, at least a half hour, probably closer to 45 minutes with my binoculars looking at that spot. Looking at, you know, there's no way it could have ran up or ran down without us seeing it. There's no way. But it didn't. It just like disappeared. So logically, I really thought it disappeared at the time. I couldn't understand that, but maybe it's hiding. And so after that long period of time, we gave up and went on to pull trail cameras and pulled every card that I have for close to a mile back there, and never got anything on them on that trip. But 2 months later, I did get a shoulder, an elbow, an arm, and you can see either hair off the fingers or it's the fingers hiding behind this tree. And you zoom into it, it kind of pixelates. It's arguable, but we saw that Sasquatch right there. Just amazing. So every time I come by here, I have to pause and look. And we've probably come by, I'll bet, with all my dogs, with Bucky and Wyatt, you know, and my 2 bloodhounds and Sean and Apollo. I've probably gone up and down this road hundreds of times over 20 years. So
not counting all the hunting trips.
Oh yeah, it's at so many times. So, you know, there's something different about these things. There's something very different, and I'm really starting to listen to the interdimensional stories that almost make sense. The cloaking, how in the world it can just disappear like that. I think this thing was messing with Wyatt. You know, you hear these stories about mind speak, and I think this dog, I think this Sasquatch just decided to mess with my dog, and that's why I was like, no problem with me checking it out. And as it turned out, I got nothing on my video. It was shaking, it was going all over the place. I couldn't even see a black dot on it. We took it to my neighbor's, Chris's, and put it on a 70-inch big screen TV, and I never got it. And it wasn't because I wasn't on it, it was because I was just jiggling all around it. And it seems amazing to me now that I blew that opportunity, but I did. Crystal clear right there. That's only about maybe 150 yards out. Amazing. Well, while we're telling this story, wouldn't it be something else if he came out again? But the shape of an orangutan, that's what it looked like. A big, black, tall orangutan. And just a month or so ago, I read a story about a father and a son who were hiking up in this area of Mount St. Helens, and they ran into a Sasquatch as well, and that's how they described it. So I'm like, huh, how about that? That's the only other time I've ever heard about a body shape like that. So I think there's something to it. They're all different. Let's go. And by the way, we're not looking for Bigfoot. we would just assume that they don't mess with us, and we just want to do our trail cameras. We've blown here too. So, you see him?
No.
He's not there, is he? Which is just fine.
No, but you can see all the game trails.
Going up there, yeah. All right, now she's pulling on my